You probably know that our brain is what controls our responses to the world around us and our emotions. But do you know how the brain does that? Neurotransmitters! Neurotransmitters are signals which are sent throughout the body and the brain in a process called neurotransmission. Even if you've never heard about neurotransmitters, you might be familiar with a few of them. Dopamine, serotonin, acetylcholine, and histamine are all neurotransmitters. But before we talk about neurotransmitters specifically, let's talk about neurons and synapses. A neuron is a nerve cell, which has an axon and dendrites. Neurotransmitters are sent from the axon of one neuron to the dendrites of another through a synapse, which is made up of a presynaptic neuron, a postsynaptic neuron, and the synaptic cleft. Now, that's a lot of big words, so let's break this down. A neurotransmitter is like a text that you send your friend, telling her to meet you at a diner. Your phone, the one sending the text, is the presynaptic neuron. Your friend's phone, the one which receives the text, is the postsynaptic neuron. And the distance that the text needs to travel is the synaptic cleft. The neurotransmitter, or the text, once received, precipitates a response, your friend going to the diner. There are tons of types of neurotransmitters, but to give you a basic understanding of the kinds of things that they do, let's just focus in on two, dopamine and serotonin. Dopamine's hallmark trait is its role in regulating the pleasure and reward centers of the brain. It acts both as a neurotransmitter in the brain and also as a hormone in the blood, and it plays a role in what we love, whether we become addicted to drugs and alcohol, learning, movement, Parkinson's disease, depression, and schizophrenia. It is the foundation of positive reinforcement. It's why you want a second piece of pizza or a bigger bowl of ice cream. Unfortunately, dopamine is also why drugs are so addicting. The brain wants you to continue seeking out the things that release dopamine because they make you feel good. Drugs like heroin, cocaine, and nicotine rely on dopamine's addictive nature to get their victims hooked. There's a good chance you've heard of serotonin in some way. This guy has made his way into memes and pop culture. Serotonin, or more accurately, a lack thereof, is most widely associated with depression, but deficits in serotonin can also lead to anxiety, suicidal thoughts, post-traumatic stress disorder, epilepsy, and obsessive-compulsive disorder. Needless to say, serotonin is super duper important when it comes to things like mood control and happiness. If you or someone you know is taking an antidepressant, it may be of a class called SSRIs, or selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors. These bad boys prevent serotonin from being reabsorbed by neurons, so that more of it remains in the synapses, which should, in theory, help to maintain your mood. Serotonin also helps your digestive tract, and is utilized to alleviate nausea. He's the king of all things rest and digest. I hope you learned something you didn't know before about neurons and neurotransmitters. Thank you for watching.